All right, so what's up, guys? So we're out here on another run, out here doing this craziness for all of you guys who simply sit back, watch, admire, and enjoy, right? And simply never quit, right? Never give up, because you have great things in store for you. And it's a general life principle. It's to never quit. Just don't do it. And don't worry, because we're gonna give you 4 reasons why you should never quit in life, right? Huge. And without further ado, we're gonna go to reason number 1, is because when you quit, you lose your purpose. Because when you're not taking action and working towards your goals, you are not trying to fulfill your purpose. But your purpose is this aching desire or need, right? A clenching in your gut to, get up and do the work and get there. But if you give up, you quit, that's it. That dream slowly starts to fade and die, right? You got to keep watering it and giving it life, right? It's like a plant, right? Your purpose, your dream. And if you ignore it, that plant can't survive without nutrients. So if you do that, it's just gonna die. And in order to keep it going, right, you don't simply just want to keep it afloat, right? Because the plant will never grow, right? You want to give it, extra nutrients, right? The best set of conditions, so that thing can grow as tall as possible, right? And look and become big and nice and beautiful, right? Others can look at and admire, right? And it has, a bigger effect on society, right? The bigger it is, the more CO2 it can give back, and the more fruits it can create, right? And feed animals, feed us. And that's only gonna come with the purpose, right? And never quitting, right? Continuously pushing and pushing and pushing, right? By doing that, you keep that dream alive. You keep it going. You keep that spirit within you. Because if you stop for a couple, days, weeks, turn into months, and even years, then you'll find yourself, it's trying to switch paths and careers because you lost the skills and talents that you once had, right? That enabled you to do the work the right way and, essentially get there. But in order to keep it going, you can never quit, right? Never give up. And eventually, one day, you will get there, right? But it takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience. And reason number 2 is essentially because oftentimes when we quit, it was right before hitting it big, right? Getting significant achievements and so forth, right? It happens to so many of us, and especially when times get very tough, right? For many of us, that happened when the pandemic came, right? It might have felt like the worst thing in the world, right? It would have caused, and in fact did cause, many to give up on their dreams, right? To stop it. But what others realized is that it was one of the greatest times to work and get better, right? You were alone. You didn't have outside distractions, right? You had the opportunity to sit and ruminate in your thoughts. It was one of the best time periods for that, right? Because we were all isolated. We were in quarantine. And that enables you to keep working on your objectives, right? It provides you with a reason not to quit. Because for many, the fact that they stopped during the pandemic hindered their success, right? It prevented them from getting to where they wanted to go. And for some, it was, starting a new business, starting a new dream, right? And keeping it going. But that essentially is going to take work. And You know, so someone not see us, but we're all good. And essentially, keep going, right? Keep pushing, right? Because so many times when it can seem to be the hardest is right when a breakthrough is about to occur. And we get that from Tony Robbins, right? Somebody that many look up to, right? As an inspirational figure, right? Someone that you can just listen to and really feel the passion, feel the emotion, and it strikes a chord with for many, right? Many, as soon as they hear him, they want to get up and keep going, right? Right? He can make, you know, your problems and, you know, your difficulties seem inferior, right? Specifically those that are common issues that many people deal with, right? Depression and lack of motivation, so forth, right? All those issues can cause and do cause many people to give up and quit, right? And those things can be at their worst right before, you know, you hit a new mark, right? You achieve a new milestone and so forth. But, you know, if you had kept pushing, right, and pushed through that stress and so forth, you would get there, right? You'd be fine. But because it could seem like the end of the world, many stop and they give up. And if you do that, your chances of getting there are diminished and even to almost zero oftentimes. So essentially do that, right? Really ask yourself, you know, especially during those times that you feel bad, you know, do I have the opportunity to keep going and get there, right? And oftentimes the answer is yes. You just have to keep treading forward and you will get there. And, you know, without further ado, we're gonna go into reason number 3 as far as why you should never quit. Because for many, you know, the most difficult tasks in the world, right? Those that are cause for admiration and respect and money and fame, right? Not everyone is cut out to do that, right? It requires a certain willpower, right? To continue and keep going, right? That's why they are so esteemed, right? Because not so many people can get there, right? There's only one president, right? There's only one CEO essentially. And, you know, to get there, that person had to refuse quitting, right? They had, bet you, many times where they thought about giving up, right? Where they thought that it was too hard. But the mere fact that they kept going separated them, right, from the rest of the pack, right? Because so many people aren't able to go the full distance, right? It's only meant for those certain amount of people, strong-willed people who are able to continue the fight and keep going and going until they get there. But, you know, for you, you have to think, right? How much time do you have left? Or even forget about that, right? Just put in the work to do it, right? Just keep treading forward. And, you know, without further ado, we're gonna go to reason number 4 as far as why you should never, ever, ever quit. And that is that, you know, far too often we have, you know, a limited span of time on this earth, right? The time that you spent quitting and giving up and rationalizing is wasted on, you know, time that you'll never get back, right? You lose it, right? You won't be able to put that towards getting better, right? It's essentially thrown in the garbage, right? Especially if you give up on something you've been doing your whole life, right? And for some, right, they might have to do that, right? There's certain career shifts that people, you know, figure out that they're not cut out for. But the earlier you discover it, the better, right? And those situations, it's okay to quit. But like we said, had you made that decision at 23, would have been a lot better than had you done it at 43, right? Everyone can agree on that. So really figure out what you're cut out to do, where you see yourself doing as far as your career, and really go after it, right? Zone in on what it is they have to do, so you won't have to quit, right? Do that, right? Because it could be good, but it'll hurt you less had you done it earlier, right? It would have given you more time to do it, because your time on this planet is limited. So think about that, right? Think about how you can conserve that time, and you will get there. As we have all hell breaking loose, got the police coming by, and we're not quitting out here. So we hope you enjoyed 4 reasons why you shouldn't quit ever, 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 ever. Thank you very much again, and goodbye.